Okay, today we see some examples on histogram, then frequency polygon, frequency curve, and argue curve. Okay, I'll not solve more number of problems. These are the basic things for you people. With the help of these recorded videos, you solve remaining problems. Okay, this is the question. Construct a histogram and frequency polygon for the following data. For the following data, they asked to prepare histogram diagram, histogram graph, and polygon, frequency polygon. Two aspects they asked. This question is asked for 5 marks. Okay. You see the question? The question is construct a histogram and frequency polygon for the following. Okay. You see the class is 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 up to 80 to 90 is the class. Frequency is given for you people. Okay. On the basis of this, you have to draw the graph. How to draw the graph? In x-axis, you have to take one unit as 10 points. Okay. And up to 90. Then that is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 in the x-axis. And y-axis, you have to cover maximum 30 units. Maximum frequency is 30. Maximum frequency is 30. Therefore, you require 30 units in y-axis. Y-axis 30 units required. Considering these 2 points, you have to draw the graph. Okay, you see here. This is the graph, histogram and frequency polygon. X-axis, I will take the right class. In y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 2 frequencies. 2 frequencies. Okay. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Okay. And I'll take the values 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Maximum frequency is 30. Therefore, you have to fix the value of x-axis values based on the maximum frequency. Okay, this is the x-axis and y-axis. X-axis values in the y-axis. In x-axis, you write the classes. Class starts from 20 to 30. Therefore, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You may take 100 also. Last one. Okay. In this way, you write the class. Then if you want to mark the values, you may mark the value also. With the help of pencil, you may mark the values. This is 2, this is 4, this is 6, this is 8, this is 10, this is 12. Like this, you can mark the values. In the laptop, I am unable to mark properly. You mark the areas properly, points. Here in the x-axis, I have taken 20 points here. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. In this way, you mark and then put the values. Okay. First frequency is, that is 5. Okay. You put a rectangle of 5 units. It is 5. It will 5 is in between 4 and 6. So up to this level, you draw the rectangle. And second frequency is 12. Okay. Up to 12 level, you draw the rectangle. Third frequency is 18. Up to 18, you draw the rectangle. Then fourth is 30. 30 is the fourth frequency. Fourth frequency is 30. That is 50 to 60. Then sixth is 20. 20 is the frequency. You write like this and we'll draw the rectangle. And next is 70 to 80 is 15. 15 is the frequency. Okay. Then last is last is 7. Last is 7. In this way, you have to draw the graph. This is called as histogram. This is called as histogram. It is enough. Remember this. If they ask you to draw the histogram, you draw this much. It is histogram. Okay. If they ask to calculate mode, you take a pencil and scale. You take a pencil and scale, draw a straight line from this point to this point. Okay, one line. You draw one line, and from this point to here, where these 2 points crosses, where this point touches, up to this level, you draw one line. Where these two lines intersect, from this point, you draw a perpendicular line to x-axis. From this point to, you draw one line. My line is not correct. I am not having the scale. This may touch here. Okay. Where this line touches, that is the mode. Okay. Mode is in between 50 to 60, and it is, I think, 56 is the mode. 56 nearly. Mode is 56. If they ask to calculate mode, you calculate in this way. Okay, with histogram. This is the method of calculating histogram. You take a scale and draw the lines. Okay. Then second, they ask to show the frequency polygon. For frequency polygon, you have to mark the midpoint of the each rectangle. Top side of each rectangle is to be marked at the center. Okay, you see here. First rectangle is to be marked at the center. Second is here. Third mark in the center. Fourth mark in the center. Fifth also mark in the center. Sixth you mark in the center. And seventh also you mark in the center. Okay. Mark in the center. And here you have to mark at the last point. Half point. And here also at half point. You mark here. Okay. Then you have to draw a line. You draw a line from half portion of the x-axis to the center point of the first rectangle. Second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line, seventh line, eighth line should touch the x-axis. This is called as frequency polygon. Drawing this line is called as frequency polygon. Okay. This is frequency polygon. Suppose they ask to draw frequency curve. Then you take a pencil and draw a freehand curve, freehand line. Freehand line indicates frequency curve. Okay. Only difference between the frequency polygon and frequency curve is if you draw a straight line, frequency polygon. If you draw freehand curve, freehand line, that is called as frequency curve. Okay. This is the example. This question asked for 5 marks. This much is the question asked for 5 marks. Next, you see the next example. Construct a frequency curve. Okay, construct a histogram and frequency curve from the following. Frequency curve from the following. Okay, frequency curve from the following. You see here. This is the question. Class is 0 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 20, 20 to 28, 28 to 40, 40 to 50. And frequencies are like this: 8, 16, 30, 40, 24, 12. These are the frequency. In this case, the class is not same. First class interval is 6, second class interval is 6, third class interval is 8. Third is 8, fourth is 8, fifth is 12, sixth is 10. Okay, if the class intervals are different, you have to modify the frequencies. Modification of frequency is essential. Then you see here how to modify the frequency. Draw the table like this. 4 column with the required classes. First class, you write the class. This is the class given in the problem. Then second is frequency. And third column, you calculate the class interval. Class interval of the first is 6. Second class interval is 6. Third class interval is, class interval means difference between lower limit and upper limit. Difference between lower limit and upper limit is called as class intervals. Here is 8. Here is 8. Here is 10, 12. And here is 10. Like this, you calculate the class interval. Then you calculate converted frequency. Converted frequency is to be calculated. So converted frequency is equal to minimum class interval. At the numerator, you take the minimum class interval. Denominator, you take the actual class interval and multiply by the frequency. Multiply by frequency. You see here. Minimum frequency is 6 in this column. Minimum frequency is 6. That is to be fixed 6. This always is bigger 6. Numerator is to be fixed. Always fixed. Once you select the numerator, that will not change. Denominator is actual class interval. That is also 6. Into frequency. Frequency is 8. 6 by 6 into 8 is equal to 8. Second, 6 divided by 6 into 16. 16. Come to the third. Minimum frequency is 6. In all the frequencies, minimum is 6. Actual frequency class interval is, minimum class interval. It is not a frequency. Minimum class interval at the numerator point, denominator point, actual class interval into frequency. Okay, here minimum class interval is 6 and actual class interval is 8 into frequency is 30, 22.5. Here minimum frequency 6, minimum class interval 6. Then class interval actual is 8 into frequency 40. Answer is 30. Then next is minimum class interval 6, actual class interval 12 into 24 is equal to 8. Last 6 is the minimum class interval. Actual class interval is 10 into 12. Frequency 7.2. In this way, you have to calculate the frequency. Then draw the graph based on the classes. And here you have to consider these frequencies. Highest frequency is 30 here. 30 is the highest frequency. You consider this column, not the actual column. Okay. And class interval is as they given, as per their calculation, you take the class interval. Okay. Histogram and frequency polygon. Histogram frequency polygon. 1 centimeter is equal to 2 unit. X-axis. Y-axis. 1 centimeter is equal to 2 frequency. 2, 6, 7 multiple of 2. Last is 30. Here this is the class. 0 to 6 means 1 unit is equal to 2, 1 centimeter is equal to 2 unit. So 6 unit is equal to 3 centimeter, and this is 6 means 3 centimeter. This is the 8 means 4 centimeter. This is the 12, 6, 0 to 6, 3 centimeters, 6 to 12, 3 centimeter, 12 to 20, 4 centimeter, 8 is the unit. Then 10 to 28, 10 to 28, again it is 8 centimeter. 28 to 46 centimeter I have taken because 12 units are there. 40 to 50, 10 units are there. I have taken the 5 centimeter. In this way, you have to fix the x-axis. Now you draw the rectangles. First frequency 0 to 6 is 0 to 6 is 6. Next is 6 to 12. It is 16. 12 to 20. 22.5. I calculated 22.5. Then next 20 to 30. 20 to 28. 30 frequency calculated. 30 calculated frequency. And 28 to 40. It is 7.2. 7.2. And last is, sorry, it is 8. 20 to 48 and last is 7.2. Like this you have to draw the rectangles. Then mark the center points. Then you have to mark the center points with the help of pencil. Okay. Here is the center point. Like this you mark the center. Then you draw a freehand curve like this from 0 to 0 to marking like this. You draw a freehand curve that is called as frequency curve. If you draw this straight line, that is called as frequency polygon. Frequency polygon. This is frequency polygon. This is frequency polygon. Okay, frequency polygon. If you want to draw the frequency curve, what to do? Freehand curve you draw. Okay. This is the second example. And it is clear about the histogram and frequency polygon frequency curve. Now I will take you example based on Augur curve. With the help of less than Augur curve, how to calculate quartile Q1, Q2, Q3. Q1 means quartile, first quartile, Q2 means second quartile, Q3 means third quartile. How to calculate quartiles? Okay, this is the example. From the following distribution shows the average rainfall recorded in different places during last 80 years. 80 years information is given. Then graphically represent the Q1, Q2, Q3. Q1 means quartile, first quartile. Q2 means second quartile. Q3 means third quartile. I will explain all these things in the next chapter. What is Q1, what is Q2, what is Q3? I will explain in the next chapter. But graphically how to calculate, we study here. Okay. Rainfall is 90 to 95. Class is there. Number of years is called as frequency. 4, 8, 7, 18, 24, 14, 5. Okay. This table is to be converted into less than cumulative table first. You have to prepare the less than cumulative frequency table. You write the heading less than cumulative frequency table. This is less than cumulative frequency table. Less than cumulative frequency table. Write the rainfall classes. This is the class. Then frequency 4, 8, 5. Okay. Total is 80. Then how to calculate cumulative? You write 4 as it is. 4 as it is. First item as it is. Then add 1 by 1 in the cumulative. First cumulative plus second item is equal to second. Second cumulative 12 plus 7 is equal to 19. 19 plus 18 is equal to 37. 37 plus 24 is equal to 61. 61 plus 14 is equal to 75. 75 plus 5 is equal to 80. This total must tally. Okay. Then you see here how to calculate this. You see here how to calculate this. With the help of pencil, I will show you. Okay, you take this 4 to the second column first. Okay, in the 4 you add 8. 4 plus 8 is equal to 12. Okay, 12 plus 4, 7 is equal to 19. 19 plus 18 is equal to 37. 37 plus 24 is equal to 61. 61 plus 14 is equal to 75. 75 plus 5 is equal to 80. Like this, you have to calculate cumulative. Okay. Now you draw the graph. Your graph requires x-axis maximum 125. Maximum is 125 x-axis. That means class. In y-axis, maximum frequency cumulative is 80. Up to 80 points you have to cover. In the y-axis. On the basis of these two, this is the maximum of x and y is 125 points. You have to cover in the graph. And how to calculate Q1, Q2, Q3? Q1 is equal to N1, 1N divided by 4. Total N is 80. 80 into 1 divided by 4 is equal to 20. 20th item. 20th item you have to find that 20th item is called as Q1. And Q2 is equal to 2N divided by 4th item. 2N divided by 4 means 2 into 80 divided by 4 is equal to 40th item. 40th frequency value. 40th frequency value is called as Q2. And Q3 is equal to 3N divided by 4th item. That is 3N means 3 into 80 divided by 4 is equal to 60th item. 60th frequency value is called as Q3. Okay. These values we have to mark in the graph and assert it Q1, Q2, Q3. I will show it. This is the graph, Auger curve. For Q1, Q2, Q3, you have to draw less than argue. Less than argue. You see the less than argue. Total value is 90. Up to 90 I have taken. Maximum required is 80. Maximum required is 80. In y-axis, x-axis, I will take the multiple of 5 classes. Okay, 90 to 95, 100, 105, 110, 120, 105, 120, 125. Like this I will take. And mark the cumulative values. Cumulative value at the upper limit of the class. For less than curve, you have to mark at the upper limit. More than frequency, you have to mark at the lower limit. Remember this. Then I will put the values. First is 92, 95 is 8. Then second value comes here. Third value comes here. Fourth value comes at there. Fifth value I mark there. Sixth value and last value. This is the value. And I will put the curve. Put the curve. This is the less than argue curve. Like this you draw the less than argue curve. Then you have to calculate Q1. Q1 is 20th item. 20th item means from 20 point, from y-axis 20 point, you draw a straight line, horizontal line. Okay, just like this. I drawn the line. And from the point where it touches the less than argue curve, from that point you draw a perpendicular line to the x-axis. Perpendicular line to x-axis like this. Okay, it touches nearly at 105 or 6. 105 or 6. In between 105 and 110. That means I consider this as a 106. It touches the point at 106. Therefore, I write Q1 is the 20th item. Its answer is 106. Okay. Then Q2 value is 40th value. From this 40th point to this graph, you draw a straight line like this. And from this point to the x-axis, you draw a perpendicular line. You draw a perpendicular line. My line is not correct exactly. You draw exactly a correct line. And it touches nearly at 110, more than 110. So 40th item is 111. I consider this as 111, Q2. And next is Q3. 60th item to this line, you draw a line. From this point to x-axis, you draw a perpendicular line. You draw a perpendicular line. Okay, this perpendicular line touches at 115 nearly. So Q3 is equal to 60th item. 60th item is 114.5. I'll take 114.5 nearly. Because of the computer work, my lines are not exactly correct. So you draw exact correct lines in your graph and ascertain the value. Okay. This is the method of calculating Q1, Q2, Q3 with the help of graph. And for Q1, Q2, Q3, you draw the less than argue curve. Less than argue curve. Okay. And one more problem I'll take regarding median. How to calculate median with the help of argue curve in the next period. Otherwise, I'll upload video today itself. Okay. On the basis of the problem solved by me, you solve the other examples. And I'll dictate the questions already uploaded in the Google Drive. You solve all the problems. And tomorrow I'll close this chapter. I'll dictate the exercise tomorrow. How to solve tomorrow exercise and complete this chapter tomorrow. And you'll go through the other questions regarding the graphs and diagrams. Okay. Today's class over. We'll see tomorrow.